Hey guys, it's your girl Boonie, and you're now listening to episode 96 of the Boonie Breakdown podcast. The podcast where we sometimes cry, we always laugh, we might get a bit ratchet, but we're forever going to break it down. Your source for all things responsible and ratchet. All right, guys. Here we are, episode 96. I can't believe we're inching closer and closer to episode 100, which is so wild to me. But this week, the guests are my homies, Chrissy and Shika. They actually have not been on the podcast since the season opener this season. So I was excited to have them back to catch up, to talk about how we're doing self-care and caring for ourselves, making time for ourselves, and some big changes that have happened in our lives over the past couple months. So you want to stick around for that conversation. When they're on the podcast, it's always just a good girlfriend kiki. So, just stick around for the conversation, and I hope you guys enjoy. All right, let's move into Boonie's pick of the week. I hope I don't offend anybody with my pick of the week this week, but it is motherfucking birth control, because let me tell you, I could not imagine my life right now if I had children. Okay, so I am thankful for all forms of birth control that I've ever been on, okay? Whether it's been the pill, the shot, condoms, whatever. Birth control. Shout out to you. But for real, I just couldn't even imagine, just little things. And, I get people when they say, children are a blessing. But I'm just saying, where I am in life right now, if I had children, little people that I had to mold and help to, guide their experience in life until they're at the point that they can do it themselves. If I had to cook, it is some nights where I don't even eat dinner just because I'm either too fucking tired or too fucking lazy to do it. It is some nights where I just eat cereal for dinner. It is some nights, I haven't washed clothes in weeks. My house is a fucking mess. I just need to the maid will be coming. But when you have children, I just can't do that. I just can't say, baby girl, baby boy, I'm not going to do your laundry for weeks because mommy's tired. I can't do that. And so, yeah, shout out to birth control. You the real MVP for holding me down through the decades. So cheers, take a shot. If you're at work, take a sip of coffee, whatever you need to do to cheers to birth control, okay? We're going to move into this housekeeping. I want to say the feedback from episode 95. You guys, I really appreciate you giving me some grace. I know last week's episode was late, and we've had about 2 or 3 episodes this season where the episode was late. And I know I sound like a broken record saying how busy I am, but I really am fucking busy. So I appreciate your grace and saying it's okay. Shit happens. It happens, sometimes that's the way the cookie crumbles, right? And so a few of you too said that you took the time to do some other shit that you've been putting off, or even just not feeling like the need to apologize because you can't get everything done. And I've said this before on the podcast where I really don't believe that any one person can excel at everything. And so I have a few things on my plate. And this last week, the podcast was the one that got knocked off. Before, sometimes it's the quality time with Boo. Also, it's household chores right now. That is totally fucking losing. Let me just say that. So I just want to say thank you for giving me the grace, and to hear all of your warm commentary back about stop beating myself up because I dropped an episode 2 days late was really, really appreciated. You guys don't even know. Also, because you guys are a forceful bunch, you ratcheteers, tickets to the Boonie Breakdown Live Baltimore edition, Saturday, June 29th, are now on sale, okay? You can head on over to thebooниebreakdown.com/live, LIVE, to copy your tickets for the Baltimore show. If you follow on Instagram, you can go into the bio, click get tickets. They're also there as well, okay? More details about the show will be dropping in the coming weeks, okay? But a few of you have already copped those tickets. Y'all know it's going to sell out. Y'all I'm going to get first in line, and I'm not going to miss this shit. So I appreciate you guys for doing that. Philly, your date will be dropping next. So be on the lookout. As soon as I get a date nailed down, which I'm almost there, Tickets will drop for that one. Atlanta, you guys will be last, but those tickets will drop after I nail down the date for Philly, okay? So again, head on over to theboonieBreakdown.com/LIVE to grab your tickets. Also, only 4 episodes left. After this episode, there are only 4 episodes left in season 5 of the Boonie Breakdown podcast. So mark those calendars, okay? Also, as always, you guys know, as I start planning content for the upcoming season, which will be season 6, which will most likely drop July-ish. Yeah, July. Probably after 4th of July, 2019 will be season 6. Okay. So you can give me ideas. Who would you like to see on the podcast? What content would you like to see that we haven't talked about? I'm always open to that. So you can shoot an email to theboonieBreakdown@gmail.com or head on over to theboonieBreakdown.com/contact and send it over that way. All right. So I appreciate it as I start to make pitches and solicit people to be guests on the podcast for next season. Lastly, you guys know the deal. I hope that you're following us on all social media. We're on Instagram and Facebook, The Boonie Breakdown. On Twitter, just Boonie Breakdown. And when sharing the episodes on social media, use the hashtag The Boonie Breakdown or hashtag PODIN, PODIN. If your pages are unlocked, like I always say, I will try to connect, respond, and or share everything that you share about the Boonie Breakdown. All right. Don't forget, you can leave those reviews over in the Purple app. Apple Podcasts, on iTunes if you have Apple devices. If you do not and you listen to another app, if they too solicit reviews, 5-star ratings, go ahead and help your girl out. Or you can head on over to facebook.com/The Boonie Breakdown, hit 5 stars and leave a review there too. Okay. So that's it for me, guys. So let's get ready to break it down. All right, guys, it's your girl Boonie, and I was looking at the schedule and realized that I had not had Chrissy and Shika back on this season. So welcome, Chrissy and Shika, to the podcast.
Thank you. Hey, y'all.
Hi, girl.
We back.
I know it's y'all were like the season opener, and now I got like 4 episodes left.
I know. This season went by fast.
It did. It did. How you guys been?
I've been good.
Busy, but good.
I know. I'm like Chrissy over there getting skinty on us.
Yes, she
Listen,
is.
girl.
I was like, you look so good.
Thank you, boo. I'm trying to do this work.
You doing it.
You're keeping me motivated. I didn't get back in. I had went to the doctor twice. I was like, oh, I lost 6 pounds. Thank you so much for me losing my winter weight.
Yes.
Listen, I'm maybe about 40 pounds out from what I thought was my goal. That might stretch a little bit to 60 pounds, but my goal after that is just to lift heavy.
Yes, tone up.
Yes, with the definition.
Yeah, I've been very much into the high intensity workouts. Like that's my jam.
Yeah.
I'll work out in the house and I go to the gym sometimes because I lift weights in the gym and I'll do cardio, but like that hit is like my jam. I be in here busting a sweat in like 25 minutes.
Yeah, because I feel like
so many more calories.
So like do you guys ever, because I know sometimes I don't like going to the gym, and not because I don't want to work out, but sometimes I just don't like the attention from men in the gym. Do you guys experience that like in a weird way, creepy way?
Well, I go to the gym at 4 a.m.
Not really, but I do the same thing. I go to the gym early, and the gym that I go to, well, I train in a private studio during the week. So I'm only in the gym on Saturdays and Sundays. But the gym that I go to is mostly for competitors that are doing like figure or bodybuilding. Gotcha. So they be in there focused and we be in there early. So I might get like a look every once in a while. And afterwards, like after we finish our workouts, the dude might say something to me like on my way to the desk or like on the way to the locker room. But people don't typically do weird shit to you during your workout because everybody's really focused. And so that's what I appreciate, because everybody in there being in such a grind mode pushes me to work out harder when I'm there.
Yeah, now I go to Planet Fitness by FedEx Field. So the times I've been like, and it's been years, but one time I distinctly remember going on a Saturday, like 9 a.m. and I was to the point doing ab work on the floor, maybe some stretching. And this dude was lifting like close, but not next to me, and then next thing I know, he was right there, and like I had my legs open. I was like, "Nigga, like for real." This old man was next to me on a treadmill. Then he came and tried to do like leg ups, but he was so old, he was struggling. I was like, "Don't," and I left. Like I just rolled out. I was like, "Listen, I'm not doing this with y'all. Like I didn't come here for this." But yeah, I go at 4 a.m. A lot of older people actually go early in the morning, so the gym is getting more packed when I'm leaving out.
Maybe
So
I should
really
change up my schedule because now that I have a different schedule and I work from home so much, I've been trying to like test when I like to go. And so I like lunchtime, but sometimes you get caught up in the day and then you're like, dang, I didn't go, but I did like going then. But I just don't like waking up early. I haven't even had a chance to try going early. So I would either go like at lunch or as soon as I get off, since I don't have to commute anymore, I would go straight there.
Yeah, I do mine in the morning, even when I was working from home, just because I like the way that the endorphins give me my boost for the start of the day. And after a hard day, it's so much easier for me to be like, nah, forget it. But in the morning, I'm like, okay, let me get up and get it together. So it's still difficult, but you got to do it. So.
Yeah, when I only telework 2 days a week, I will go Wednesday after work and then Thursday, Friday when I telework. But I go to days I telework and I actually wake up earlier to go to the gym before I have to work when I telework. And I'm like Chrissy, like the way it makes me feel in the morning, like my day typically goes smoothly if I work out in the morning. Then I have like a whole regimen. Like I'll work out, masturbate, do what I gotta do. Like I'm just riding high like all day, so it works out.
That probably feels actually really good.
My favorite combination. My favorite combination.
Yeah, I might try. Might be motivation to try it.
Yeah, give yourself a treat afterwards, and then you be like, "Yo," and then you be riding high for a couple of hours. Now I do most of the time take a nap when I'm done working at 3, but for most of the day, I'm like riding high for real.
Yeah, because I'm for real now. Like I will not be the last buffalo because I be on Instagram looking at some of all the little cute plus size girls. Now they trying to get skinny and shit, and so I'm like, I ain't gonna be the last buffalo. So, but yeah, that was all. I just wanted to shout out Chrissy because you looking good.
Thank you, Bo. Down 70.4 pounds.
I know that's right.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
And my trainer is a terrorist. Right. Like I was out celebrating my Lion's 15th Deltaversary. So on Saturday we had a photo shoot and we did lunch and we had a reunion. And so I did a pan of the table on my Insta story and she could see other people's meals. And as soon as I posted it, I got a DM talk about what you eating.
I know that's right.
And like, even if I'm not posting, I appreciate her because her dedication to my goals is what gives me that push when I just am not feeling it. And sometimes not pissing her off is better to just do the work. But we know so many mutual people that even if I'm not posting it, she has a chance of seeing me somewhere else, like doing something that I'm not supposed to if I am not. So I'm just like, one day I was really in my feelings because she had kicked our behinds because she's doing prep for competition. So she's extra aggressive with us these days, taking her pain out on us. But one day I was just deep in my feelings because she gave us a workout that kicked our behinds. And I went and did a bar hop with one of my old coworkers, or dinner and drinks rather, not really even so much a bar hop. We just went to a couple places. And she saw it and she like called me out on Facebook. And I was like, next time, just at me, sis. Like, we know too many people. Because people on the post that I know to my leave my Virgo sister alone, or don't be doing this to your client. I'm like, I don't need to be crying. You just watch my story. So you know she talking about me. And so she's like, I wasn't trying to be discreet. And I was just like, let me get out my feelings. Let me get out my bag.
Yeah. No, that accountability helps. Like, it helps. Like, I tend to have I think I have a habitual personality. Like, I think I form habits quickly. Like, I get into routines quickly. So it's easier for me. But, like, if I fall off to kind of jump back on. But, yeah, it's necessary. Like, sometimes you need that extra layer.
And listen, for me, even though the benefits are visual, like that's thankful. The biggest thing for me was reclaiming my health, which I've done. I've been able to come off of some medication that was prescribed to me a year ago. But for me, yes, that was one of the biggest motivators. I was like, I'm too young to need any part of my health managed by medication when it's a choice. But 2 was I need it for the stress management, because like I've had to come to the realization of certain things. Like there's no such thing as a slow season in my job. We have some very ambitious goals. And it's a really tough year for us with a lot of priorities. So I'm like, I need it, because before my cope would be, let me go to happy hour after this rough day, or let me eat my feelings today and eat trash. But now the gym has really been like my second therapy. Like it's so much more about how I feel now than how I look. But the how I look is nice too.
Yeah, no, definitely. Especially if I'm having like a rough day and I'm at home, even if I went to the gym, I'll come in here and do another workout, just because it does, like, I feel that it makes me feel better. A lot of times, if I'm stressed out, it's a way to kind of get that energy out. I forget most of the time, because I'll get focused on what I'm doing, and sometimes I push even harder if I'm having a rough day, and then it's just like, oh, that's just over. Like, I just sweated this shit out. Like, I'm about to pass out. Like, and you feel good. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I know, like, something like simple, like, because right now time is like a bar of gold for me right now. But something simple, just because I haven't had a chance to go get a massage or do some of those other things that make me feel good. I haven't even been to therapy since January, which is driving me insane. But I'm gonna make an appointment because I need to go, and like soon. But like I've been doing a lot of aromatherapy like the last few weeks. And even just something as simple as dropping 8 drops of lavender and lemon essential oil in the shower while I'm getting a shower just helps me feel better. So I've been trying to find these little ways to cope. I know too, and I don't think I talked about it on the podcast, but I think I'm found a practitioner, because I want to host this, because I feel like it's something that a lot of Black people would not go to. But I did a yoga sound bath workshop. Bitch. That was the best rest I had gotten in quite some time when I did that class. And we did like 45 minutes of yoga to start and like warm up. And then you just found like a comfortable position to like lay on the floor, or you could do like a yoga block, or however you wanted to lay comfortably. And then this lady had like, it was like 7 bowls in different colors and sizes representing the different chakras. And she just started playing them motherfuckers.
Wow.
And it was way louder than I thought it was going to be. Like, it totally took over my entire head. Like, and it was like I went into a trance and I couldn't even try to open my eyes, and I was out. And then like she slowed it down. It was just funny, like the vibration and the frequency. It's really hard to describe. The only thing I can say, it was like a trance. And then when she stopped, it just went away.
Wow.
And I rolled over like, God damn, that felt good.
Wait, did you go with Crystal?
Yeah.
I remember you posting about this. That's so crazy. I didn't know exactly how it went. And it's so funny you mentioned that, because I just bought this book. It's like beginners to chakras, like understand your chakras. I don't know. I think they talked about it on Therapy for Black Girls, maybe on the Friend Zone, but whatever. I bought it and I just started reading it this week. And it's interesting because they tell you to do this test with putting your palms about 1 inch apart, and like close your eyes and just try to feel that energy and that vibration, and then pull it apart and then kind of go back and forth. And that kind of starts to get you to get in tune with feeling the energy and vibrations in your body. It's crazy.
It was wild. Like, I thought it was me. So I remember when we were walking out, I remember Crystal being like, oh my God, like, what was that? And I was like, I don't know, but I liked it. I want to do it again. And I was like, because I was trying to see for her, it just sounded, when I say like, it took over my entire headspace, like I couldn't hear anything. Like at first it almost hurt a bit because it was so loud and intense. I couldn't catch it. And as soon as I stopped my thoughts and just laid with it, then I was out. Wow. But I was trying to fight it. Like, why does it sound so loud? Like, why is it so heavy? Like, it was a lot. It was really intense. And then when she moved to those other bowls, it was like I couldn't even move my body. It was just like, it was over. And as soon as she stopped playing with the bowls, it was over.
Interesting.
And everybody just kind of woke up. Like, I was like,
what the fuck?
So I found this one place. I'm trying to see if they'll let me rent it out to do a private class. Mm-hmm. But I feel like stuff like that, like Black women would not, because we were the only two there, and Crystal was only there because I found it. Like, right. She's like, I never heard of this. But yeah, it was like all white women and us too.
Wow. No, I think that type of stuff, because I've been doing like the drops of essential oils in the shower like every night. Like, that's like my thing.
That's now. So helpful to go to sleep.
I bought a new diffuser. I put it like in my bedroom now with like lavender in there, and just like kind of let it go all night. Yeah, man, because we gotta sleep right at least. Like, we need to rest.
Yeah, you have to like decompress and recharge, do all that. Yeah, I mean, like, stop being on the go so much. And I'm trying to be like Auntie Maxine and reclaim my time, but I can't right now. And so I'm just doing these little things that I can. It's all I can do right now, but it is helpful. But the place I found, they let you do the sound bath in like these floating cocoons. Oh, nice. Right. Like, I'm like, so I need them to hurry up and answer me back.
I like that.
Yeah, but that would be so dope. So I'm like, I couldn't imagine it where you're like really anti-gravity and just floating, and that's happening. Like, it already sounds better than an orgasm right now.
No, but yeah, seriously, that's exactly what I was thinking. Like, yeah.
And it's so, and the other thing too, this is not the topics I wanted to talk about, but whatever. The other thing too is, for me, what is also essential, well, this is going to lead us to the ratchet, our orgasms, whether self-induced or by somebody else. And this week, it was like I've been going like gaps of time without seeing Boo, which has been driving me crazy. And so I made it a point, like, I saw him, and the other day I was just like, hey, I need you to come here for a second. And he's like, we're very opposites attract. And he's like, what? And I'm like, just lay on the bed. And he's like, what? I was like, I just want to kiss you for like 5 minutes straight. Like, I didn't even want to ask that. I was like, I literally just want to kiss you. That's all I want to do. And he's looking at me like, okay, but he indulged me. And then finally he like gave in, like, okay, this, like, I guess he was just like, what is happening? Because it was just I guess the way I presented it was very odd. And then, we had sex. But
like missing that intimacy.
But yeah, it's just like,
stuff, that is, honestly.
Yeah. And I really am starting to realize too, like, how much my love language of physical touch isn't just sex. Like, it really is. We're watching TV and my leg is draped over you, or I just want to kiss you. Like, we don't always have to fuck. And so,
get out of my head.
That was my revelation of growth this week.
Like, so I've been in therapy. Like, I found a new therapist or whatever. So I've been in therapy like once a week, and like, in me, like, developing and trying to be more vulnerable, I just realized there's certain things that I need in life. There was like, she was like, I mean, you miss intimacy. Like, you want someone there. She was like, I mean, you're fine without it. And I was like, yeah, but like, I didn't think that it was something that I actually needed. Like, I sometimes go weeks without like human touch. Like, I may not hug someone. Like, if I don't go to see my parents, or if I don't see family, whatever, like, me and my friends, we don't really like touch like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have some friends who are like super touchy-feely, but like, yeah, it's just, it doesn't happen. And I think I didn't realize how much it starts to affect me. So yeah, because I hadn't been really dating or anything like that, yes, self-induced, selfie is what I like to call it. Selfie time, like self-love. It's very important. You have to still kind of have those feelings. Like, you just, like, everybody needs to come. I feel like it just keeps you at peace. It makes you calm. Like, sometimes I realize my shoulder's been damn near my ears for most of the morning because, like, I'm just so tense.
Yeah. And it's something as simple as just dropping your jaw.
Yes.
Like, unpunching your jaw and dropping your shoulders makes such a difference.
Like, sometimes I'll just have to, like, even as much as I hate, the Apple Watch and its notifications, like, every once in a while I'll indulge in the deep breathing for a minute. Cause I'm like, you know what? Yeah, take a moment, like, inhale, exhale, and just kind of like relax. Cause I think we are, like, just as a people, like, it's kind of embedded in us to just naturally be on edge. Like we fought our whole lives. Like,
Yeah.
so it's just like, you know, sometimes you don't want to fight. Like I remember I was just like, you know, one day I got sick at work. I had a migraine and I came home, and I think it's as allergy season was changing, and like as soon as I got in the house I threw up like my whole lunch. Like it was gross. And then I like lay down and nap because that's the only way I can like get rid of a migraine. And then it was fucking Tuesday and trash day is Wednesday, and I go to work and I was like, and now you got to get the fuck up and round up all the trash and take it outside so it can be, you know, picked up. And I was just like, I'm tired. Like sometimes you just want to
Yeah.
put it all down. And I think a lot of times, especially if you're doing things on your own, you just really don't feel like you have the moment to. But it's very important to take those moments. Like I have to recognize, and I honor myself and I stop beating myself up. Like some days you ain't gonna clean shit up. Like whatever.
And then if somebody walked in my house right now, they'd be like, what happened here? Yeah, then I just finally stopped lying to myself, like, oh, I'm gonna get to it, I'm gonna get to it. And I just sent the cleaning lady a text, like, just come on,
like
because
that's a part of that's
this ain't
self-care.
happening.
Like, listen, we talked about it, like hiring somebody to come through here because sometimes, you know, it's a lot.
That's the capacity I have right now, is to send the text and cash app her money. I don't have nothing else for it.
Yeah.
So yeah. I was also talking this week, and I when I was having this conversation, I was like, oh, I gotta ask Chrissy and Shika. So would you ever, like, you've been dating someone for a few years, and I'm gonna give two scenarios, either or. So either you were dating someone for like a year and you decided to tell them, I want to be celibate until marriage, and or you're with someone, you get engaged, and then y'all decide that y'all aren't gonna have sex until you're married. Do you think you would ever do that?
So I can't say, because I'm viewing sex and relationships in very different ways these days, especially being without for 468 days right now.
Well, come on to the dating
real.
house.
But I've known people that have done that before. Like, actually, one of my LSs, she and her now husband, but boyfriend, longtime boyfriend, when they got engaged, decided to make the commitment of no sex until after marriage again, so they could relearn themselves for their relationship in the new path that they were taking. And they've been married now 10 plus years. So, I mean,
that's what I hear the reason most people do it.
Yeah.
You know?
So, I mean, honestly, I know that I couldn't be in a relationship that was a serious monogamous relationship and we not have sex. But I don't have a strong stance on whether I would choose celibacy in that relationship afterwards as we were preparing for the next stage. I don't know. Off topic, I'm like off bat. My first reaction is like, for what? But
yeah. I mean, I can say that I wouldn't propose it 9 times out of 10. I don't think I would be the one proposing, let's not have sex, you know, until we get married, you know, once we're engaged. Also, I know just by the facts of life, I can go 2 years. However, I don't want to be engaged that long. So, you know, if it's a year, maybe. I don't think I would be opposed to it. I think it's something that could be pulled off. And I mean, I get the message behind it. But I don't know. There's circumstances. Like, what do you do when you live together and you sleep in the same bed? Like, I feel like I might have trouble sleeping. Like, do I got to sleep on the couch? Do you need to sleep on the couch? Like, you know, I get the theory of it. I don't know if it would be. I know I would not initiate it, like, unless I had some type of like spiritual founding and something just arose in me. But I don't really think if we've had sex up until then, I'd suggest like, oh yeah, let's just wait until we get married. I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see. I know. I know. I definitely wouldn't be like, just come home one day and be like, all right, boo, I'm not having sex no more.
Right.
Like, I don't think that's fair because that's not what that person signed up for. But I do think the conversation around the marriage, going into marriage and deciding to abstain is an interesting one to me. I'm always intrigued by people who make the decision, and people close to me I know made that decision and went, 10, 11 months as a part of their marital counseling. And so it was kind of posed to me as a question to ask on the podcast, i.e. also they knew someone who was doing this like right now. And I thought about like, it just really had me thinking this week, like, would I do that? I know I actively took the position, but as a single person, like, I'm not going to have sex for a year. I know I did that. But if I'm actually in an active sexual relationship and a relationship and we're having sex with someone, and to just be like, I'm stopping. So therefore,
has to be a mutual decision.
You're like,
it has to,
absolutely.
be a
definitely
decision, and whatever
absolutely.
the sacrifice is being made for the outcome obviously has to be something that they feel is greater. And then I saw something on, I can't remember because I scroll these days just to go to sleep, so I don't retain a lot of it. But one girl saying that they decided to take sex out of their relationship because it became the ultimate way that they solve conflict, which wasn't healthy because it wasn't them actually resolving things. It was just them, having sex and then forgetting about it, not really getting to the root of resolving the issues that they had. So she took the break, or they decided to take the break to work on their communication and learn how to communicate through conflict as well. And I thought that was really interesting. There wasn't any follow-up because I don't even remember who posted it.
Yeah.
But I would be.
And I feel 9 times out of 10, if you do go to some type of counseling prior to marriage,
I feel like that should be a mandatory. Like, I feel like the church should require it.
Going to it. Yeah.
No, I agree. I told Boo, like, that's
mandatory.
That's happening.
But I think they do.
But I don't think
that it will come up, and I feel like 9 times out of 10, if you go to counseling, that will be suggested, because I think it is essentially sex can be used in different ways in a relationship. Some people use it to punish, to weaponize, or different things like that. So depending on the nature of the relationship, you or your partner may both feel like, oh, that might be a good idea, knowing that maybe you guys use sex in a way that's not the most beneficial in the relationship, and using it as a way to avoid.
Yeah, my hope these days is to establish all of that before intimacy is even introduced into the relationship, because that's the easy part. Like, my goal right now is, if I know that I'm looking to build something meaningful that has a future, not saying that our end goal has to be marriage, but whatever we're doing in the time that we're in each other's lives is intentional to benefit us both, then the foundation of that should be much deeper than sex. So, I mean, that's the easy part. Or for me, it is. It's much harder for me to be vulnerable and open myself up and share some of my most intimate details than it is for me to not just say, like, to have sex with anyone, because I'm very selective in that, but it's just easier to open yourself up in that way than emotionally. And so I'm trying to do things differently, as my therapist says, for a different result. So.
No, I totally agree. I did the same thing last year. And in the conversations that I do have with Boo, like, that was one of the things I asked, like, not asked, but I'm like, I'm not getting married to anyone if we're not going to do therapy together, which is why I've been actively encouraging him to start therapy on his own, so that he can really, you can start doing some of your work before we have to do work together. And I think for me too, my other request was, I'm a spiritual person, but I'm not religious. And so I would not want to do therapy, like faith-based couples therapy before marriage.
And I feel like that's effective even for the people that are religious. No offense to y'all holy rollers, but I think there are very distinctly different skills that you learn in therapy that may not come from Christian counseling. And I don't know, all of this is assumption for me because I haven't been there. But I feel like both. If you're going to do through the church, then do it with the licensed professional as well.
Because I know even like some churches won't even marry you unless you go through their program. So I also guess I'm also making a statement too that I'm not really big if I have, like, it's not, I'm not pressed to have a super huge wedding. So if I didn't get married in a church, that wouldn't be any big deal to me. But yeah, I definitely know. Like, I would like to go to a super licensed marriage relationship professional to work on that stuff. And I know somebody, they did like premarital counseling, and they used the person was also, their marriage counselor was also an attorney. And the marriage counselor, like the sessions they all built up, it was like a worksheet pretty much for their post-nuptial agreement, because they didn't do a prenup, but it was a post-nup. And like part of her, I thought it was, I'm like, that's actually a pretty smart practice. But it's like they did all these exercises, and based off of what she heard each of them say, she presented them, like, it was like a month after they were married or something. She presented them like their a draft post-nuptial agreement based off the things that they had discussed a year leading up to their marriage. And then they had the opportunity to make, revisions, changes. And so that's how they developed their post-nuptial agreement. And then they did like a year of counseling once a month for their first year of marriage.
I'm not mad at that.
Yeah, and they've been married now like 7 years, 7-8 years. So
yeah, it's work. Like, you have to be working on yourself and continuously doing the work. So I think all of that is like super important. I wouldn't dare. But yeah, I've been having I don't know, the same approach kind of to dating, but I downloaded this app called The Pattern, and essentially,
oh my god, I did too.
But
it reads me for filth. Like, almost.
I closed the fucking app. Like, I don't want to read this shit no more. Cause
and so it was saying something to me, like it mentioned something like relationships won't necessarily come easy, which is something that's been an idea of mine for a long time. And I was just thinking, like, if there's something that's going to come later in life for me, then what am I doing in the meantime? Because it was getting to the point where I was just like, I am actively trying, and it's not really getting results. Like, it's been a struggle, honestly. So I've kind of just been like, whatever happens, happens. I kind of am going day by day, because like, I'm still on the same track of knowing what exactly I want, like whatever distractions or whatever things that may happen on the way. I'm not really worried about it, because I just feel like, should I suffer in the meantime? Nah, I'm over it. Like, I don't know. It's been hard, because I was even telling Adrian, I was like, yes, me and this guy's been talking, like, we updated to numbers, but like ever since then, he's been like dragging his feet, and I'm like, yeah, I lose interest quick. So, but one thing I think in going through to therapy and stuff, I've been very open and like communicating, like, yeah, this is what works for me. This is not like, let me know what's going on with you. What are you trying to do? What are you looking to do? Like, having these conversations, because I don't have time for people playing my face. I'm blocking people quick now. Like, I don't even necessarily may or may not have a conversation. It just depends, because it's so
so are you doing are you still doing your online dating?
I've been on the apps. I haven't been doing like Match or anything. No, I'm not with that. And now, like, remember Ashley pressed me out. She told me I need to try Tinder. But it's to the point now, like, I just look at my top picks, because like I'll swipe no 15 times or more in a row, and I'm like, okay, all right, enough. Like, it's just, I don't know, it's not that intriguing for me. And I don't even think I've been out with anybody I might have shared it with. Like, it doesn't last long, like 3 to 5 days maybe, and I'm over it. They say something stupid, and I'm just like, I don't. No, thank you.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I definitely I was talking to somebody else about dating apps recently, and I'm actually I need to text her because I know that she went on a Tinder date this weekend. So
Nice.
I'm just hoping, like, I was just I wasn't I the one thing I didn't like about Tinder was that I got into the habit of swiping. I can which way is swiping left is the when you want them.
No, right?
Right.
Oh, it's right when you want them.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So I got in the habit of just swiping left so much, like no, 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 that one would be like kind of cute, and then I would already swipe left. And I always got annoyed with this. So that's why I deleted Tinder.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used the X instead of the swipe because I fuck around and swipe right by accident so many times, and then I have to run in and unmatch because I'm like, no, I didn't mean it. It's just, I don't know. I mean, me and the guy are still talking. We'll see. I don't know. But like, it's just weird. Like, I don't know what these. I don't know. I just feel like we've lost the art of being able to like communicate with each other, and I think technology has helped that a ton. But it's just sometimes holding conversation with people is a struggle, and I'm like, oh, I can't do this. Like, I'm not interested at all in doing this.
So are you at the space yet? And I think Chrissy kind of said this before. Shika, are you at the space where you would do interracial dating?
Oh, that's so funny. My therapist asked me the same thing. I told her I'm open to it. I don't think I'm really at a place right now where I would entertain those of the Caucasian persuasion in 45's America. I just don't want to chance it. But, sometimes I swipe right on them. It depends on if I'm in the mood. I think I would try it. But I feel like I would prefer that happening in a more organic space where I can pick up on a vibe.
Yeah, okay.
Whether or not you're like into like your fetish is like black women or anything like that. Like I need to feel that energy. And I don't really know if I can trust it through the apps.
Yeah. I stopped with the apps probably before the start of the year, but I made a resolution and I talked to Shika about this kind of offline, that one of the things that I decided to do this year with dating was be more present and visible socially. So I try to commit to getting out at least twice during weekdays during a month, and then do something at least every weekend where I'm out. And it's not necessarily with the hope or the aspiration of being seen and chosen. It's just out doing things that I enjoy doing or being out of my house, so that if it does happen, it does. And it's been good so far. But I want to go back to the interracial dating thing too, because I am open to other minorities. My preference is still very much to love a black man, right? But I'm also not going to limit myself to parameters that black men have long removed themselves from, because who knows what the person that's right for me looks like. He could be Asian for all I know. But I do still have this kind of apprehension about white men, even though for a very long time
Agreed.
But the one white guy that I did go out with when I was kind of coming out of my sabbatical from dating was one I met through a mutual friend. So we had already gone out and had dinner in a casual setting, and we're just kind of getting to know each other because we had seen each other before, but not really had like conversation. Like he had been married and was recently divorced when we all got together, or not recently, like had been divorced for a year or so. And so it was a nice little entry to try something different. But then y'all also know, like, male energy attracts male energy. So I wasn't turning anything down to get back out there. Like, unless guys that I was just like completely uninterested in, because I'm not going to waste anybody's time. Mine, I don't have enough of it. Adrian, I know you feel this right now, but I don't have enough time at all. to waste it. So if I'm giving you my time, please know you are getting a rare commodity. But
come on now.
listen,
Come on now.
so but he was like, I was like actually attracted to him. We had really great conversation. I was interested to getting to know him more, but I don't know if I could have pursued a serious relationship there or not. We did end up going on 2 dates though, and both were really great, but it still just felt very platonic for me. Like it wasn't a kiss at the end of the second date, but it was my re-entry into the field. And so I've been actively dating. I have what I call a front runner right now, but I am taking things very slow. I am trying not to create too many expectations, but he is proving himself. And so I'm just remaining hopeful that he continues to do well. But I'm also not putting all of my eggs in one basket, and I'm keeping my other options open until this one starts saying something that needs to eliminate those options.
I hear that. No, I definitely, I'm being hopeful that I won't have to date anybody else. But I definitely, Chrissy, I'm like you. I might try another minority. I'm not interested in white men, really. I just don't. I don't see that in my space.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I don't have to do that. But yeah, I don't know. It's been interesting. Like I've been doing the best to be more social myself. And I think I talked to Adrian, but yeah, like I've gone out by myself twice, just like hit a bar, got something to eat, whatever. It's been fun, it's like, and even like Chrissy said, like if nobody says anything to me, I'm cool. Like I've just been getting out more and just just hanging out because like
right,
I'm not going to meet nobody in my house
too,
right,
at all. And like I said, the apps are not my favorite. Like
I feel like it's just convenient.
Really
the apps are just convenient.
To me, it's just something to spend time doing, because even I'm not swiping with the intention of actually really trying to connect with someone. Like the last time I was on Twitter, I had like 70 odd matches, but I would only initiate conversation with guys that initiated it with me. But I still wasn't really interested. And I'm like, so what am I even doing?
No, I agree. For? I was the same way. And the other thing I did not like about the few of them that like that we did match was that like the pace of the conversation. So it's like, are we not talking, or were you really just waiting for me to be like, come over and smash? Like I didn't know what was happening, and I damn sure. And then it would be like, hello, and you're like, hi, and then 18 hours later, what's your number? No, I don't know you.
Listen.
No, yeah, I don't like that. I don't move like that, and that's why this Tinder kind of passed through, because like we have been talking on there for like a week, and I was like, this is moving at a pace that I prefer, that I like, and I've been working on like not speaking so negatively about things. I was like, well, because at first I was like, this is probably weird. Maybe he has a wife, something strange, because like you said, you're so used to people automatically like talk for a couple of
and that's like that is it.
I don't do that. I used to give niggas my email, and some of them who were persistent enough would email me, or regardless, they got the Google number, so they couldn't find me on like my social networks and things like that. But for me, like even if
I'll get unmatched.
Listen,
unmatched.
Even with people that I meet in person, like one, I'm way too busy during the day to have full text conversations with you. So a conversation that would probably take like 20 minutes, if we did it with our full attention, is going to take me 4 hours.
Right?
Because my job believes in meeting unnecessarily. Like my calendar looks like a freaking heat map. Like today, for example, I was on conference calls from 10 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. with a 30-minute window, because I had to block it on my calendar just to be able to have a lunch.
Wow.
I'm like, there's no way we can be productive continuing like this. So that's something that I am trying to change, because I'm just like, it's ridiculous. And that's every week. But also, I still prefer to get to know people in person. I even had to say as much to one guy that I'm interested in now. I'm just like, I want to get to know you. My preference is to get to know people in person. So you might think I'm dry over text. I translate better in person, but I also just don't have the time to really have a great conversation like that in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
So to me, it's like, I've told you, now you make it happen, because there's something about the nuances that you can't see. Like, even with men are hesitant even now to pick up the phone. I want to hear the fluctuations in your voice or the hesitation before you answer. But even more so in person, I want to see how your body reacts before you even open your mouth. You know?
Yeah. Like I prefer that. And like I was telling y'all earlier, like I went out, took myself to happy hour, and then I invited somebody, like a friend, out, and I was just like, yo, I didn't even know you like this. Like we just had like a different conversation, like stuff we've never talked about before. And I was just like,
Yeah.
this is different, because a lot of times people aren't that willing to be open. And granted, it's probably because we're slightly familiar, but in all these years we've known each other, I never knew certain things about her. And I was just like, that's really refreshing, because we were just able to like have a conversation. He was like, yeah, no, like I'm emotional and like talk about stuff like that. Like, and I was just like, really? I had no idea. And like, just go back and forth, and I kind of like, let him know where I was in life, whatever. But it was just a different vibe. And I was like, yeah, like that's easy for me. Like I much rather connect than like ask you 21 questions. Like I'm not 50.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to.
It is. And I was saying too, I'm like, I hope people don't beat me up for it, but I was I was having this conversation with someone else, and then I was talking to Boo about it, and I was saying kind of like, how fickle the internet is, and this week it's been the Lauren London and Nipsey Hussle are the relationship goals of this week on social media. And I was kind of saying, like I was not trying to downplay, but I was just kind of saying, like, essentially she was like, now she's just his baby mama, right? Because they were together for a period of time, and granted, we don't know the inner workings of their relationship. But I was saying this to say, like, she's just like, it's cemented now, like she was his girlfriend and she was just his baby mama at the time of his death. And I was saying, like,
yeah, I thought that was confirmed. Married,
maybe they did. I mean, I really didn't follow them much. Like, I knew they were together, but I was just saying, like, somebody sent me a clip from the funeral because I didn't watch it, and I was like, dang, like nobody got to say like his wife, like everybody was like, so I was just saying that. And then I was saying, like, the one thing that I do like that white women do that I feel like Black women don't really have the opportunity to do it, and it became this whole discussion with Boo, like, is that they make the demands and outline immediately what this is going to be, what you going to do.
Yeah, white women be like a business.
And it's like, and this is the timeline you have to do it. And if you do not do that, they leave you and they go on to the next person. And usually within a year, they're now married and have all those things that they had the expectation of you to do. And I was saying, like, I don't think Black women we don't have that same opportunity, because it's like, we still operate under that guise, and through conditioning and kind of some self things you need to work on there. It's like, you just be blessed to be that you got a man. So don't you push him too hard and say like, I want to marry your ass in 2 years. And so all of that spurred really because of a comment I saw someone make about Lauren London at Nipsey's funeral.
And we talked about this years ago on here. Like, we talked about it because I remember I was telling you guys about my coworker at the time, and like how she was on a match, she started dating this guy, then like they became boyfriend and girlfriend, and like, I mean, in a year, like she was like, oh, my lease about to be up, like what we doing?
Oh yeah.
They moved in together, like, and like they're still riding on, but like, yeah, they move like that, and we're more go with the flow, and let the guys or the men kind of guide at their pace, like, because we gotta wait till they're ready. And it's like, I'm like, no, like, say what you would like first, like, because that's one of the issues is communication.
Yeah,
let me know what you want. I'll let you know what I want, and if it doesn't align, then we can move on. Like, we don't have to waste each other's time.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't think it's so much that it doesn't happen in our community. I just think that one, a lot of societal impacts on our race impact dating, because it impacts the roles that we have and the opportunities. But I think it's a mix. I think that it's about the person, because I'm very clear and very upfront about what it is. Like, the first thing that they ask me is, what am I looking for? I'm dating with purpose. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's you, but that's my ultimate outcome. And that eliminates some guys right off the bat, because I'm still figuring out if I want marriage. So I'm not saying I'm looking for my husband. I'm still figuring those things out. But I do know that I'm looking for a partnership that is committed until we see what we want to do. Oh, goodness. I forgot. There was a meme that I was going to reference.
It's always a meme for something.
Girl, listen,
right,
listen.
always.
I'm like, who is the person that's actually typing up everybody's thoughts? Because I be screenshotting like shit. But one of the things I will say, I think, I hate that in our community, we don't give people their flowers when they have an opportunity to grow them and create a garden. Like, Nipsey has been doing stuff like this for community development and outreach and empowering his community for years. Mm-hmm. So why couldn't we encourage and support and be as enthusiastic about that while he was present to help grow that? But Lauren, I don't follow her, but I love Lauren London for the fact that, and I say it like the Beyonce private, I keep it Lauren London low. Like, I'm a big, y'all know this. I believe in, if you want to protect it, keep it private. And she's always been a master of that. So that has always in their relationship been goals for me. But yeah, I really wish that we were more focused on celebrating the people that were here, making a real difference while they're here. Why do we then have to jump on the bandwagon when they're gone or take motivation from them? And some people are like, well, you should just be glad that it's happening no matter what. But it's just like, no, let's support the people that are out here making real strides that are going to be beneficial for our people as a whole, or take some motivation from them while they're here and do the same.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. We do wait too late. And I know, like, I wasn't, like I said in the episode, like 2 episodes ago, like right after it happened, like, I wasn't a super fan. I knew a few songs. I knew about the work he did more than his music, honestly. And I knew he was in a relationship with Lauren London. And that shit fucked me up, because it was just like, I hate that it's always the people who are doing everything right. Like, he really was the epitome of what you're supposed to do when you make it. He didn't abandon the hood. He poured into the hood that he grew up in. And then that same hood killed him, right? And so it's like, how does that even work? And it even got me to the point where I kind of got fucked up, because then I said it, and then someone like, oh, Charlamagne said the same thing. And I was like, oh, I'm saying the same thing as Charlamagne. But it really did have me questioning a little bit, like, everybody say, good things happen to good people. And it's like, well, is that true? Because then you have shit like this that like rocks your belief on that sometimes. Yeah. And then you look at the asshole who's in office who, I mean, like, it's like bad things don't always happen to bad people. And
and that's the thing that is why this is, because it's so funny. I listened to the Therapy for Black Girls episode about why
that was a great episode.
Someone, and that's exactly what she was saying. It shapes our belief of everyone thinking that, like, you do good, you put good energy out there, it comes back to you. So that's how it kind of affects everybody, and we all kind of felt something like, yo, this isn't right. Yeah, because it kind of like change your world view a little bit, and then it leads you down the path like, oh, this could have easily been me. Yeah. Or this person or this person or this person close to me. So it's very scary. Like the times we're kind of living in now, because things are just, a lot is not right.
No.
Like a lot is wrong right now.
Notre Dame burning, and the president wants to offer relief and funds for that, but meanwhile Puerto Rico, Flint, like,
yeah, and that's somebody was Louisiana. Somebody was like, "Oh, here's a link to donate." I'd be damned if I give a dime to the Catholic Church. Like, are you serious right now? Like,
colonizers. It's sad that it's a historic monument that's going, but it'll be rebuilt in no time. But
exactly, no, like, I'm not putting my money to that.
They put all that money into getting pedophiles off. They should have been putting it in something else. Like, yeah, it's very like nobody has time for this. Like, it's. I mean, yeah, it's sad, great, but like, no.
Yeah, like it was like
I'm not.
I mean, it sucks when history is destroyed, but it was just like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm like glad I got to see it. Like glad I had a chance to see it.
Almost like the Anne Frank house, like
That's true. That was like
just
infuriating. But
I was just like, yo, don't cry so hard, like relax.
There have been other atrocities, and then I do hate that you have to play this struggle war. Like, what struggle was
but it's
worse?
almost like, and I think it's because we can be so compassionate, like we can understand.
Yeah, as the people,
but
we are very
they tend to act. Yeah, they tend to act like they don't get it, and it's just like, oh, really? You get this stuff?
Yeah, like yeah.
Right.
Let me
like
tell you about something that went on for centuries. Like,
right. Like, that's not sad to you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's wild, but I don't know. It's just like a lot has been happening, and I think too, like for some people, the Nipsey thing compounding on everything else that's happening. It does shake you a bit. Like, well, fuck. Like he, like we've said, he was doing all the right things, and why couldn't that be me, right? So,
and it is a tangible loss. Like, I think.
Yeah.
I hate that people feel like you can't feel some type of empathy or loss just because you don't personally know a person, because people's lives have an impact. We are very much connected through ways that we don't understand. And that's not the first time I felt a loss. I felt a loss when Prince died. I felt a loss when Michael Jackson died. I felt a loss when Whitney died, and felt the same for him. Like, it was just this sadness of, damn, like you can't even really enunciate it. It's just like, damn, So, but again, like the timing with everything that's happening in this country, and again, it just.
And how violent his death was. It's almost like,
it's just like
people saw
it. And then
it.
it goes to show how fucked up our system is. The dude that he was, the story is, and I don't know how truthful this is because, again, social media is where I've seen it, but apparently the guy who he was going to get the clothes for, the dude that just got out of jail for 20 years, that was also a victim and shot, is being locked up again because he was violating parole by affiliating with a known gang member.
I heard that.
Like, really?
Yeah, I heard.
Really?
Who is Nipsey Hussle? Who is Nipsey Hussle though? Like, but there's LAPD saying, like, the chief or whatever, like, choked up about it. It's crazy. Yeah, I heard that too, and I was just like,
yes, he was a gang member, but he was working with LAPD to bring peace among the gangs in LA. So really?
It's really crazy. And then for me too, like once a week, I'm just like, yo, this is still our president. Like, how are we here?
And the crazy thing is, white people are going to reelect him.
Yeah, I'm like, he's gonna win again. I don't even know why everybody is
feel good about him not winning again. So I'm just like,
nah, they're going to do it.
Pay attention.
He's getting 8 years.
White people are the epitome of cutting off their nose to spite their face. Because we can't.
It's the most disgusting thing ever. Like, when I tell you, it's to the point, and I really work hard to not be this person, but like, don't let me catch a white person looking at me too hard, because I'm very concerned about who you voted for. Like, that's one of the first things that come to my mind. And I'm like, yo, I wasn't even like this, but what's happening. It's almost like drawing a complete, very big ass line in the sand. Like, I'm here and you're over here, and it's sad, and I wish it was over soon, but I don't even have confidence that it will be. So I'm just kind of like, I dip, like I've been saying this for like a year. I dip in and out of the news. Sometimes I take it in, and sometimes I just can't know what the fuck is going on for a couple of days. I just can't. It's sad, but like, first and foremost is like my mental health, and I know how things start to affect me and how like I'll start to think about things. And I'm just like, no. I just can't know. Like, I have to be ignorant to stuff for a couple of days and make sure I'm in the right headspace. Because like the Nipsey Hussle thing, like, it was a nice morning. I sat out on my deck and I watched him and Lauren London, the little GQ thing.
And that was cute. I did too.
And I'm out to dinner, and my homegirl was like, yo, Nipsey Hussle died. I was like, nah, I just watched his ass on the video today. And she was like, no, like some shit just happened. And I was like, what? And I went to Twitter and I was like, whoa, no way.
Yo, Twitter be that CNN.
Yeah, and I was just in complete fucking shock, because like, I mean, we were like 12 minutes after, like, it was like I saw he got shot and then I just saw the confirmation. I was like, whoa, wait, what? And yes, it shook me a little bit. I was just like, I don't know. Like, I just didn't know how to feel. And also, it really annoys me that we love to go to this conspiracy theory thing. I don't know why. I don't know if it's like a coping mechanism.
Don't you? Like, I'm trying to live. Don't talk about Dr. CB.
Well, listen, not even that, but I'm just like, yo, like,
the government did it.
Yeah, I'm just like, but like, give it, like, yo, you can have those thoughts or whatever, like, do your thing, but like, give it time, because like, this literally just happened, and I was saying at a meeting, and I was like, yo, y'all gotta relax. Like, relax, like, have some respect. And I think we've been so desensitized to like stuff like this happening. Like, there's almost just a lack of grace in like how we handle stuff. And I feel like times tend to change. It's going to get to the point, I think, where people might get fed up with like internet shit, and maybe it'll reel it in a little bit, but it may be like, another 5 to 10 years. But I just feel like sometimes it just goes too far. I had an Uber driver legit taking me to like Taco Tuesdays the other week, and like legit asked me about Nipsey Hussle, and we dead ass got in a full ass argument. Like, I was still in the car. I was like, bro, I gotta go. I was like, y'all had a long fucking day. I didn't cry twice today. Like, I don't feel like doing
That's why you don't talk to your Uber drivers. I don't talk to those motherfuckers.
I be so rude about it, but I'm just like,
like, I normally have my earphones in, and I had left them in the house, and I was like, my guy, I'm not doing this with you today. Like, have a nice day. Like, but I gotta go. And I said, let me tell you something. Stop talking to your customers like this, because it's stupid. Like, dead ass, don't.
Yeah, that's wild. Oh my God.
Like, I was still in the car. I was like, bro, I gotta go. Like, I'm so tired of talking to you. Like, why are you still talking? It was just reckless. And I was just like, I get you want to have this conversation, but this whole they concept, I'm like, what are you going to do about it? Yeah. Nothing. I need a solution based. Like, get the fuck out of my face with your theories, because what can I do to stop it if this they is as big as they gonna be? Like, what? Get the fuck. No. It's upsetting me. I'm over it. Like, I was just so done, because I was like, yo, Hotep niggas really they find their way into a conversation with
no matter, they always do. And that's why
I'm completely ready to shut it down every time. Like, no.
That's why you can't engage. You can't engage.
I can't. You're right.
So, all right. Well, damn, it's been an hour already.
Really?
Did we talk about anything you wanted to? No.
No, but shit happens.
We'll save it for next time.
We'll do it again.
Hopefully we'll
do it again. Sometimes the spirit just moves you. And this is the direction we were supposed to go in. So this is the direction we went in. But I was glad to have y'all back on here.
Yeah,
me too.
Yeah, we've been.
I went on here a while ago. I can't remember what was happening in the world, but it was something that had happened in the world, and I was like, "Oh my God!" And it just now I can't even remember what it was. So
yes.
So yeah. All right, ladies. Well, thank you again.
No problem.
Thank you.
Y'all have a good night.
Yes. Good night.
All right. So again, I want to thank Chrissy and Shika, my homegirls, for coming on the podcast. We always give you that real. We always open up and share as much of us as we can with you all. So if you enjoyed this episode, I encourage you to listen and subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, or any app that you listen to your favorite podcasts on. Don't forget to leave a review too. You might just hear your review on the next episode. Follow us across social media. Share the episode with those you love, those you don't love, those you fucking hate. Don't make these pretty images and audiograms for nothing, okay? Have a dope ass week. Thank you for listening. And remember, the ratchet in me always honors the ratchet in you. Until next time.